Shit. Oh, crap. Crazy video for you guys today. We're taking the Cybertruck to King of Hammer, which I believe is like an off-road type of car meet car show, and so we'll see with all these other EV trucks how they stack up against it. So thanks for jumping in and let's get into it. We're leaving Los Angeles, heading up to Victorville and then Johnson Valley. So of course we've got a supercharge in Victorville first. We're gonna arrive with about like 9% left on the battery, charge for as long as we possibly can. And of course today is a terrible day. It is raining out. This is gonna be pretty interesting, taking the Cybertruck in the off-road area plus in the rain. Charged up to 86%. We're in Victorville. And Johnson Valley, where King of Hammer actually is about an hour from where we're at right now. I can't imagine there's going to be too many Cybertrucks there. We're rolling actually with Unplugged Performance, and they're bringing their Cybertruck as well. And most likely there's going to be a ton of Rivians. I was looking at pictures from last year, and there's plenty of Rivians that go off-roading, so it's going to be cool to compare. We found our first Rivian, and this one looks pretty badass. All right, so we just got to, I don't know what trail this is, but we're entering into the King of Hammers area right now. We're on this trail for like half a mile, but it's definitely getting a little bit off-roady and a little bumpy. So let's see how the Cybertruck does. We're seeing a lot more trucks here. It's funny because we're coming with Unplugged and they've got a Cybertruck and a Tesla Model Y, and it's a lifted Model Y, so it should be able to be pretty capable, but there's a lot of different interesting vehicles out here already. We've seen like a Hummer, H1, a lot of trucks, RVs, Jeeps, some buggies. I've already seen like 3 Rivians as well. And so I imagine there's gonna be a ton of Rivians here. And I think there's like a special section where it's just for unplugged or electric vehicles, also with a dedicated charger and everything. I think, is that a bunch of RVs out there? Is this like a whole town or city? This is actually looking to be pretty cool. It's kind of like we've created a whole city out here for this event. Good, how are you?
Good. How was your drive in?
Not too bad, actually, like
Good.
2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And you are all good to go. This nice man in this red and black jacket will get you situated and in the right area.
Perfect, thank you. All right, so we just got in, and just as expected, there's a ton of Rivians here. So there's only one other Cybertruck, but everybody's already around it.
Check it out. We've got 30 PSI all the way around. It actually jumped up a little bit because of the pressure equalizing between the tires. So now you know you're exactly where you need to be, and we can go around with our special collared chucks here.
Okay.
We're able to pull off, and especially with Rivians and other vehicles like this, they have aluminum valve stems. So what happens is if you have ones that thread on, if you don't thread it on perfectly, you cross-thread it, you destroy your valve stem. With these ones, with the collar back, the teeth are completely disengaged, and once you've gone on and it stops leaking, and slide it on, and you're all good to go. It's fully locked on. So we'll go ahead and pull that off. I'll pull the rest off, and you're ready to wheel, my friend.
Sweet, thanks so much.
Of course.
All right, so the sun came out, but it looks like it disappeared again, and it is raining. But we just came out of a driver's meeting. We're about to get onto the trail. So we're about to leave in 10 minutes, and shout out to Voyage ATX. I watched this off-roading video before getting here, and they had a couple tips about the Cybertruck and how you had to remove the mud flaps on the front and the rear. But from what I hear, today is gonna be a sort of easy off-roading course, but we'll see, I guess. And on top of that, to add more drama, it is raining out right now, and it's been raining all morning. So we'll see if the Cybertruck can make it. Does it get stuck or not? So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta always put it in high mode first. And then if we can put it into off-road, we'll probably put it into off-road next. But I think we gotta get moving first before we throw it into off-road. All right, and here we go. First time off-roading, first time driving a truck. So now I'm in off-road mode. I wish I could show you guys, but you can see the vitals of every single tire right now and what height it's actually at. And so it's getting up to high, and then I don't think I need to put it in extract mode, but I'll show you guys in just a second what that is gonna look like. So because the tonneau cover is closed, we've actually got a bigger rear view mirror right here. I didn't even know that there's another version like this. Good fun fact. And on top of that, we can see all the measurements of the ride heights within each individual wheel and see which one is getting higher and higher. It also shows the battery temperature and also the motor temperature. Of course, we've also got low pressure on each of the tires. We aired down earlier, as you saw, and we're down to 30 PSI in every single tire. We're going down our first dip. Oh, this is so comfortable. I feel like I'm like sitting on a couch right now as it floats through this, but this is probably just like the easiest of the easiest part. Probably just even warming up to when we get to like the actual off-roading area. But I gotta say, I did not expect such a huge turnout for what this actually is at King of Hammer. There's so many RVs here, so many people. It's like literally a city in the middle of the desert. I guess kind of like what Burning Man is. We're just on sand right now, but it's like super comfortable actually. Like I really don't feel any of the bumps, but maybe it's because of the material right now for the sand. But we're going through some dips, and this is really nice actually. I don't feel anything at all. We just went through a little bit of an incline, and this Cybertruck is taking this like a champ. This is such a weird feeling. I kind of feel like I'm driving like an RC car through the sand right now, like a toy little remote control car, like zipping through like a dune buggy or something. But this is pretty fun actually. So a little bit of a gnarly area right now. There's a lot of rocks right here, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if I scraped my rim or curbed my rim. Well, I guess it's not called curbing if you hit it with a rock, but I'm pretty sure I hit a rock with my wheel. But the good news is I put it in extract mode now, so we're at our full 17 inches of clearance right here. It's crazy that a Model Y is taking these rocks in this area. Let's check some of the rims. Well, I mean, it's got a huge sidewall, so I bet like
so,
it's protected.
Probably,
oh, there it is, yeah?
Yep.
Good tire. Tire did its job. All right, so we made it to our second stop now, and this Cybertruck is handling it like a champ. Of course, it's getting muddy, but it's easy. There's a couple places where it's getting a little bit iffy, but it is handling every single rock and path pretty easily. And it's fun to watch all these other off-roaders get so interested in this Cybertruck. People are still whipping out their phones, taking pictures of it as they drive by, and this one Raptor like got in between the caravan just to try and get a better look at these Cybertrucks, so it's been so fun. So we just left our, I don't know, third or fourth stop. The Cybertruck, the unplugged Cybertruck, was doing crazy donuts and really testing out the bead locks and everything. The Cybertruck took it like a champ, and it looked pretty crazy to watch the unplugged performance do donuts in the sand. And it's interesting because a Ford F-150 Lightning tried to do the same exact thing and popped their tire. And so the Cybertruck tires, maybe because of the rims, the bead locks, were able to handle it, but it was really crazy to watch. But of course, I didn't want to try and do it. I didn't want to take any sort of risk while we're out here, still learning and everything. Craig, of course, driving the unplugged truck, is a pro driver and knows exactly how to handle it. And we're just Dennis in a Cybertruck, first time off-roading in the pickup. But really cool to see. Now we're heading to our next stop. It's already 3:12, so we're probably coming to the end of this. I think we're supposed to get back to base camp around 4 p.m. Really crazy day so far, being able to put this Cybertruck through the paces. It's been interesting to test out out all the different modes, the Baja mode and the off-road mode, to be able to take different areas and whip out the back of the Cybertruck. So it's been fun. Really cool. Can't wait to kind of do this again next time. Let's be on our way to the last stop. So this is by far the funnest part of today. We take this truck and go all the way up this hill and then come right back down. But right now we're here because the unplugged Model Y got stuck, and so they're gonna try and yank them out with the Cybertruck. I had some crazy ideas of worry going through my head, like, am I gonna flip over going too high and things like that, but made it through fine. But unfortunately, with the Model Y going up, they did get stuck, and so they had to pull it out with the other Cybertruck, and they were able to get it out. But there was one point where I thought that the Cybertruck was not gonna be able to make it either, through really deep sand dunes, I guess they call it. It's been fun so far, and no issues really with this Tesla Cybertruck as it goes through all these different whoops and sand dunes and hill climbs and everything. So pretty impressed so far, and pretty confident with this novice day or beginner day with the Tesla Cybertruck. So I think we're just trying to get back to base camp right now because this thing ends at 4 o'clock. So we're just driving through, and it's funny to see all the different reactions, excitement, confusion of all the different people seeing the Cybertruck. All right, so we completed our first off-roading driving trip with the Tesla Cybertruck. And I gotta say, this machine, this Cybertruck is very, very, very capable. It's the next day. We went to King of Hammer, which is in Johnson Valley, California. We went with unplugged performance. Shout out to the team, Brendan and Craig, for really just providing guidance the whole time, because that was my first trip off-roading completely. So definitely was a little anxious, never having off-roaded before in the past. So really going with a group was 100% worth it, especially because there was another Cybertruck that could go through any of the obstacles first. I kind of let them go first, and then we would follow afterwards. Really cool stuff. Really great trip. When we got there, the event was actually sponsored by Optima. It was called Optima Oasis, and we checked in, and there was a ton of other electric vehicles, mostly Rivian and a handful of Ford F-150 Lightnings. But we got there, checked in, did a quick driver meeting where they kind of gave us the rules of the land and how to really make sure you're not messing with any of the actual nature there, and also how to drive in an off-road scenario. But the community there was super helpful. After checking in, a guy came up with a really handy tool to air down all the different tires, because even though the stock tires on the Tesla Cybertruck are supposed to be rated at 50 to maybe even 55 PSI, you're supposed to air down your tires for off-roading use so that it doesn't puncture or pop really easily. And so someone came up with a really handy tool that plugs into each and every single tire that you can actually have and air down to like 30 PSI. So they did that with a really quick tool and was able to air down to 30 PSI. People were just really friendly, and I was really surprised on how big King of Hammer actually was. I mean, of course, 75, 80%, maybe even 90% of the whole event is like gas trucks, ice trucks, and other type of dune buggy mobiles that go up the sand and up the mountain. But just a small sliver of us out there were these electric vehicle trucks, like Rivians for the most part, R1Ts, R1Ss. We had like a small group of EV trucks by themselves. Now comes the drama. So the Tesla Cybertruck, so after we got back, after a full day of off-roading and not having any issues at all, we got back to the base camp essentially. All of a sudden, it wouldn't let us go into Baja mode anymore. It kicked us out into sport mode, and I couldn't enable it anymore. And then all of a sudden, I realized there was a bunch of lights on the screen, and basically the Cybertruck was not happy that we were doing some, fun stuff into the sand, into the dirt. And so I'll try and show the screen that shows all the different error codes, but basically the Cybertruck threw a bunch of codes and errors, and I had to limp it back. Thankfully, Basecamp ramp was not that far. But thankfully, Craig and another Tesla engineer already knew how to reset the vehicle. All that you actually have to do, which is a pretty simple one, you open up the charge port on the vehicle while the vehicle is off, and then you come back in and hold the brake, and then it clears all the codes from that. So now the Cybertruck has been fine, aired up all the tires back to 50 PSI, and then drove home in the night after that. But really, all in all, really great trip. It was my first time with the truck and also first time off-roading, and it was a great time doing that completely. And so really fun time. I think I kind of want to do it again next time. Really, it's one of those things you got to definitely do it at least once, especially if you got a cool truck like this. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any comments or questions down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.